What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to another Divisional NFL pick.
Yep.
We are keeping it locked right here on the Heated Waves podcast. Of course, I'm your boy, T-Ball.
And I'm Mr. Bradley T-Ball. What is the next AFC divisional card game?
It's going to be an interesting one. This is going to be the number 5 seeded Ravens going into the number 2 seeded Bills. Ravens with the upset last week over the Titans.
20-13.
Taking a page out of Green Bay's book by, stacking the box, making Tannehill pass, stopping that run. Tannehill, unfortunately, could not win by being heavily relied on that pass.
Too much pressure.
Too much pressure. And the Ravens defense stepped up, and now they're going on the road again into Buffalo to take on a high-powered offense in the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, number 2 offense.
Lamar Jackson, I think that's one thing. What I want to say is I think the Bills win this game. Let me tell you why the Bills win this game. One, the Bills are at home. Two, Lamar Jackson had to rely on sending people downfield and then running the ball himself. I think, with the way the Buffalo Bills play football, they're going to do a little better. They're going to be able to, stop the run as far as running backs go, spy Lamar Jackson, and basically what's going to happen is they're going to force Lamar Jackson to pass the ball, and that's how they're going to beat.
That's what you got to do.
Buffalo's offense is going to do what they always do, put up points on the board, and I think the Baltimore Ravens are going to spend 4 quarters trying to play catch-up this whole time. Now, I'm not saying that the Baltimore Ravens are going to get blown out or lose by a lot. This will be a very close game. This was a very close game. When I give it the eye test, when I look at it on paper, you have a former MVP taking on a new MVP candidate, and it should be interesting to see what happens, but I have to take Buffalo at home. It just seems to me that with the way, Buffalo's defensive front may not be the best, but their secondary, I think, matches well. Now, you didn't see a lot of that, going against the Colts and Phillip Rivers. They gave up a lot of yards, but they still managed to take care of business, and I think with what they lack on defense, kind of like the Chiefs, they make up for on offense. Obviously, I don't think Buffalo's better than the Chiefs, but I think, the best matchup, the only team I think right now that's even in this could be the Bills to beat the Chiefs, but we'll have to see there.
We've already seen the Chiefs beat the Bills earlier this year.
I just don't think the Ravens have what it takes to beat the Bills.
Offensively.
There's just not enough there offensively. Defensively, that's where they're going to keep this game tight. If the Ravens were even a skosh a little bit worse on defense, this ball game would be over. But luckily, their defense is good. Lamar Jackson obviously is going to still make big plays, but it's not going to be send guys downfield and I get a 50-yard run untouched. I just don't think Buffalo's going to allow that to happen. Josh Allen's looking good. Defensive side of the ball looks good, even though they gave up those yards. I think they made plays when it was crunch time. They stopped the Colts. That's hard thing to do. So they're going to have another test as far as defense goes in the Ravens, a big test as far as defense goes in the Ravens. We'll see what happens, but I have to take Buffalo.
Okay, well, if you want to look at this game, I think the only difference between offenses here with the Colts and comparing games with the Ravens on offense, the only difference is that Phillip Rivers been in the game forever and he has more experience at throwing the ball. So he's going to be a better throwing quarterback. He's never been a dual threat running quarterback. And that's what Lamar Jackson has. If you just sit in the pocket, we've seen him throw amazing throws, and we've seen him actually be able to push the ball downfield, and he has got a great arm and accurate.
Yeah, but that's not him this year.
It's not him this year. I don't know why they've changed this game plan, T-Ball. I really don't. I think that's just stupid to go away from what was working at 14-2 last year to now being at 11-5 and you losing 3 more games. I think it's due to the fact that they're doing more running than what they should be. Yeah, they got a great 3-headed monster with him, Gus Edwards, and J.K. Dobbins and stuff, and they got the number 1 overall rushing attack in the whole entire league. They've been going back and forth with the Browns all year long, but I think this is a different team than what they've seen with the Colts. The Colts have a real good defense. They had a really good defense, but it didn't show up in that game for some reason. They gave up 27 to the Bills, and you can't do that. And the Bills beat them by just a score of 27-24, so it's not like it was a massive game.
Right.
I just don't think they're ready for a run game like Lamar Jackson does. I mean, he can scare you because he's like, okay, is he going to pass or will he take off? And when he does take off, he does tend to throw on those runs as well. So he's
in that second progression.
Yeah, and
it's almost like he takes the first progression, runs, flushes out of the pocket, looks for the second while he's on the run, and then
Yeah.
That's when he decides to run or throw.
Yeah, and not only that, this defense is what's going to make the difference for the Ravens going against the Bills on their offense. Yeah, their offense can score, but really, if you have a real good defense, I know, like, again, the Colts were a good defense, but they just didn't show up. I think after watching the Ravens last week and that momentum they've got going on and how well that defense played, I think there's no reason why they couldn't shut down the Bills and win this ball game, or at least rattle Josh Allen enough to not be able to do his normal 303 touchdowns and winning ball games. I think people are missing that aspect. This is the most underrated team in the playoffs.
The Ravens definitely have a chance here. This
defense
the Ravens
is very
could
good.
Take this game.
What I'm saying is it's going to come down to their defense more than it's going to come down to the pressure and everything on the shoulders of Lamar Jackson. It's just the defense, if they hold and stop and make the Bills punt and stuff, Lamar Jackson doesn't have to play from behind, which he's not good at. We've seen that all year long when he's from behind. He can't make the throws. Most guys can. He can't when it's pressure time. And two, if they get out ahead, the Ravens, I really think they win this ball game. So
yeah, I think if the Ravens can manage to keep the Bills' offense,
that's all I got to do. Everybody's like, well, that's really hard to do. It's not hard to do with any quarterback, guys. Look what happens to Tom Brady when he gets rattled. I mean, the Saints figured it out 2 times to where if you get to him, he's the greatest of all time, right? Well, the greatest of all time, when they get pressured and things like that and blitzed all the time, they will make mistakes. And this guy's young. I get it. He's MVP caliber and candidate this year. He should be for what he's done, stats-wise and what he's brought the Bills to. But you know what? I'm going to go with the upset. I'm going to take the Ravens. Not only for the backlash that's going to come my way because everybody just thinks the Bills are the greatest fucking thing since sliced bread and all that. I think this is going to be one of those matches where it's 2 guys in a phone booth fucking going at it and beating the shit out of each other. It's going to be one of those matches, but I really see the upset of the Baltimore Ravens happening after I've had time to reflect on all this and go, this defense, all they got to do is make Josh Allen make 1 or 2 mistakes, and this is a ball game for the Ravens. Ravens are very good when they're ahead. I named that stat off last time when they're ahead at halftime.
You did say in the bracket that the Buffalo Bills win.
But I've worked my way away from that for some. I've convinced myself otherwise. This defense is pretty good, and they don't want another win and bounce out or lose first round type shit again this year. They really are trying to come and play Patrick Mahomes in the AFC Championship.
Okay, so if the Baltimore Ravens beat Buffalo, how much do they beat Buffalo by?
It's just going to be a scraping by 3-4 points.
And then you got the Chiefs winning the other divisional round, and the Chiefs would be taking on the Ravens. So the Ravens have a chance against the Chiefs. You
just have to find out if the Ravens do win. I'm just saying, look, hey, everybody's got a chance, and I think it's more so on their defense. If the defense can hold the Bills, they got no problem. Then Lamar Jackson has to do no work. Less work. He just runs the ball, and they love running the fucking ball, and that takes so much time off the clock. Everybody can hate me in the comments. I don't care. I'm telling you right now, this is a smell of the upset of the 4 games right now. And I'm just going to go with the upset because I have it in this gut feeling. There's some stats. I mean, there's all kinds of things that can lead it either way. You guys can say what you want. Say what you want. Eat me up in there. Come on.
We've seen upsets. We've talked about it time and time
again.
Look
at the Browns. The Browns just beat the number 1 defense.
There's
number
been
2,
upsets
whatever you want to call
all
them.
year long, guys.
Washington beating the Bucks or whatever. The Jets beating the Rams. Come on now. You're not going to tell me there's no chance that the Ravens have.
It's been an interesting year. So I've got the Bills. He's got the Baltimore Ravens.
Changed my
mind. As you guys seen, he had the Bills going, but now he's changing it to Ravens. You'll have to keep it locked, guys. That's the AFC divisional games.
Yes.
Chiefs taking on Browns. Ravens taking on Bills. We both got Chiefs, but he's got Ravens. I've got Bills. Tell us what you think, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, notification button, all that good stuff. Right here in the Heated Waves podcast, I'm your boy T-Ball.
And I'm Mr. Bradley. Bring it on, but you stay classy, YouTube.
Thanks for stopping by, guys.